Hello and welcome back. Today I thought I would talk you guys through the recent books I've been buying. I think I have over 50, and I don't say that with pride, but we are moving into a bigger place this month, at the end of this month, so it's kind of like the stars have aligned and it doesn't feel like a punishment anymore. So I hope you like the shirt. I was going for Vintage Dad. So first I'm going to be honest. Besides, I have my Latin haul kind of stacked together. Besides that, there will be absolutely no rhyme or reason to what I'm showing. And I apologize for that. But it has taken me so long to work up the courage to even say, okay, you're gonna film this. And then I would get more books, or pre-orders would come out. Or books I would just see at work that I would pick up. And it just kind of snowballed into, I have to film today or it's just not gonna get filmed. So that's where we are. I've already gotten overwhelmed because on this side of me is the books I need to talk about and haul. And on this side of me, there's not a lot of room and there's a dog bed. So here I have the collected works of Julia Alvarez. We have Afterlife, In the Time of the Butterflies, and How the Garcia Girls Lost Their Accents, which this is just a gorgeous cover. This is just amazing. I am really, really excited. I started reading this one at work. I forgot my book one day, so on my lunch, I grabbed it, and then I bought it, and then I bought the rest of them. Because honestly, I have heard really great things about this author, and from the little bit I read of Afterlife, it was just amazing. It was absolutely amazing. So I don't think I'll be disappointed. Next, we have by Carmen Machado, Her Body and Other Stories. I believe this is just collected works. I think this is a bunch of small stories. I have recently fallen in love with collected short stories. They're actually amazing. Like, they're so good when I'm cooking dinner, when I am just running a bath, or whatever it is that I'm doing, to just pick up a short story, read 12 pages, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, you're all done. And also by the same author, I have, of course, In the Dream House. I feel like everyone knows what this is. I'm really excited to read it, and I don't think much needs to be said about it. Next, we have the Lost Children's Archive. I actually don't know much about this. I was told that it is a very harrowing tale about immigration. I'm really, really excited to read about it. I believe it's about immigrants coming from Mexico into the States. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm very excited to read it and then talk to you guys about it and actually let you know what it's about. That's very exciting to me. Then by Gabriel Garcia Marquez, we have 100 Years of Solitude. I believe this is the gentleman who wrote Love in the Time of Cholera, which I have read. I enjoyed the book more than the movie, and I'm really excited to give this a go. I have been told this is quite a dense read, so I will have to wait till I'm in the mood for it. But lately I've been rereading a lot of classics. Got a motorcycle going by. Do you know, sometimes when there's cars and motorcycles that go by, I try and take that as an opportunity to ponder how I'm going to get all of these in a thumbnail, and I've just come to the realization that I won't. Anyways, Elizabeth Azevedo with Fire on High and Clap When You Land. I feel like I've spoken enough about my love of her writing. I believe with Fire on High, it's not in prose, but Clap When You Land is as well. So I am familiar with her prose. I read The Poet X a few times now. I really, really loved it. And now I have to push myself to move on from that story and venture into her other works. I also picked up and am doing a reread of, you know what, let's get them out. Wrong side. Return of the King, The Two Towers, The Hobbit, and currently I am on chapter 12 of The Fellowship. I saw Sierra Foster was hosting a reread of the series, and honestly, my partner just had it on the TV the other day, and I just started the Wheel of Time series, and in my opinion, Robert Jordan was very heavily inspired by Tolkien. And I do know that is common conversation amongst the Wheel of Time, and it is supposed to, you know, grow past the first book, but there was so much in the first Wheel of Time book that was reminiscent of Tolkien that I just picked up Tolkien and put aside Wheel of Time. But I will get back to it. But I made that choice. And they're lovely additions. They're absolutely lovely. Next we have the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. So I know this is being made into a series, I believe on Amazon or maybe Disney Plus. I'm not exactly sure. I did read the first two when I was younger. Just trying to give you guys a look at all of the covers. I did read the first two, The Lightning Thief and The Sea of Monsters, when I was younger. I really liked it, but I was at an age where my reading taste was changing. It was growing past the Percy Jackson series, and I just put it down, never picked it back up, and I just thought now was the time. Finish the series, Daniela. Next, I got the Puffin in Bloom collection. So this is a collection of classic works, but the editions are just absolutely beautiful. This is the Little Princess, and we also have Anne of Green Gables, and last but not least, we know my love for it, we have Little Women, which also is kind of a vibe with my shirt. Do you know, I'm just gonna hold this. Do you know what? This would be a cute thumbnail. But who has the time? Not me. I'll just have to find a still. These are a beautiful edition, and it comes with Heidi as well, but I believe that's in my work bag somewhere. Because I do like to keep a commuter book, and I've just been really into classics lately. I've just been loving classics. I don't know what's gotten into me. I think I read so much fantasy that I was like, do you know what? You need to stop. You need to take a break. You're overloading yourself. What's an orc? What's an elf? Never heard of it. I just want to read Jane Austen. So we're about halfway. Realizing my hair is not great today, but we are where we are, ladies and gentlemen. Ugh. There are a couple of ones that should be in my haul, but I've already read them and put them aside for my monthly wrap-up. So do you know what? We're just not going to bother, because I'm overwhelmed enough as it is with this haul. So then I got the, what even is this series called? The Throne of Glass series. I have read the first one, and I've also read the collection of short stories, The Assassin's Blade. I'm currently on book 2, which is why she's missing from there. I am liking it so far. I think because last month I read so much heavy works of fiction, important work, but heavy work, that I was like, do you know what? I need a bit of trash. And nothing says trash like mass. So next we have The House of Salt and Sorrow by Erin Craig. I don't know much about this besides the fact that it's meant to be a sort of darker aspect of a fairy tale, and honestly I just heard fairy tale and I said, okay, take my wallet, I'll do it. Next we have Nancor by, please bear with me, I'm gonna try and pronounce this correctly, Mahokaru Numata. I think I've got it. I tried about 5 times before I started the video. But this is meant to be a horror novel, I believe from Japan, if I'm not mistaken. It's meant to be such an intriguing novel. I couldn't find it anywhere, so finally I had to order it, though it is quite popular in Japan, and it is translated into English and distributed in Canada and the States. I couldn't find it anywhere in stores. So finally I bit the bullet and I ordered it, and I'm kind of prepping. I have a few horror novels that I just got in preparation for the fall, so I'm very excited. Next we have My Sister the Serial Killer, which I know everybody has talked about and everybody loves, and I'm very excited to love it as well, and it also kind of vibes with my shirt. Aesthetics what matters, so I know it is about a woman who continues to clean up after her sister, who may or may not be a serial killer, but definitely is. And her Our protagonist does not acknowledge it until her sister wants to kill a man that our protagonist is interested in. And listen, that sounds amazing. So next, by Barbara Gotti, we have The White Bone. This is about an elephant, and you get to hear the story of an elephant's life and journey through the eyes of the elephant. And honestly, that's all I had to hear. That sounds absolutely amazing. If you don't know, I'm a vegetarian. I'm a bit of an animal activist. And do you know what? I'm ready to be devastated. Everyone tells me, where are you? Everyone tells me this is going to devastate me. And I'm going to be completely transparent in saying, I think this might do worse, or my next one, because there is something with me that when a story deals with animals or children, it will hit me 10 times harder than anything you could write about an adult. I'm looking at my dog and getting emotional. Do you know, I actually had the thought the other day, there was absolutely nothing happening, no reason to be alert, and it crossed my mind, I would take a bullet for this dog. And nobody asked. Nobody's pointing a gun. I just had to throw it out there. Which brings me on to my next point and our next read. The Hen Who Dreamed She Could Fly. Okay. This is only 126 pages. And I can't bear the thought of starting it because when it came in the mail, I looked on the inside flap. It has a little French flap. And I found out the hen's name was Sprout. And I just fell to pieces. I was like, oh, that's all I need to know. I hope you fly. And I don't know what else it's about. But her name is Sprout. And I support her dreams. Next, we have Homegoing. So this is a book that has been on my radar for quite a while. I was waiting for the paperback to come out because, controversial opinion, I think paperbacks are way better than a hardback. I think if you're a stagnant reader and you read oftentimes in your home, hardback all the way because they look beautiful on the shelves. But do you know what? This bindiness being stuck into my bag, put in a backpack, when you're always on the go, this is where it's at. This is what you need. So I'm trying to be a little more patient. I just looked and I saw most of my next hauls are hardbacks. So I'm going to look like a complete hypocrite. But I'm trying to get a little more patient and wait for paperbacks to come out because realistically, you don't have to wait long. And when you have this much to read anyway, to keep you busy, there's no excuse. Oh no, my books are starting to... Ooh. I have a collection of essays. Women Writing Resistance, Essays on Latin America and the Caribbean. And it's a bunch of female Latin writers writing about their stories and trials and tribulations that they've encountered as Latin women in Latin countries and in westernized countries. I'm very excited to read it. This is something, honestly, it is bilingual. Some of it is written in Spanish, some of it is written in English, which I quite like that it doesn't necessarily only cater to the English language. I think it's important in a collection like this that there is the Spanish language that could maybe convey things that wouldn't hit as hard in the English language. And I'm really excited to give it a go. I'm really excited. This is something that I would just like put by my bedside and read a couple of collections a day. I'll probably read this month, if not early next month, to be honest. And what a beautiful cover. It's so gorgeous. I have one more paperback after just ranting how much I love paperbacks. And the last little bit are all hardbacks, so color me a hypocrite. Next we have If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. So recently, it's one that I should have hauled, but do you know, I put it off for so long, I just can't bear to haul ones I've already read. So I just read The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I feel like I worked in the reverse. I read The Golden Finch first, and I read that probably 4 years ago. And this just came on my radar. I was looking for a dark academia, and I read that. And then after watching a couple of videos of if you liked The Secret History, then you should pick up If We Were Villains. So where this one deals with a group of English majors, this one deals with a group of theater majors, and it is, again, a dark academia dealing with good and evil and right and wrong. And I did theater in high school. That's a very loose connection. But honestly, my connection with The Secret History was like, oh, I love to read. So I'm just looking for another dark academia. I think I just need to reread The Ninth House, because that is what I've been searching for, was the dark academia, weird, new age, occult, whatever. I really liked it. And I'm searching to fill that void. I really am. And honestly, The Secret History kind of did it. I really enjoyed it. So next we have Burn Our Bodies by Rory Power. I loved Wilder Girls. I read Wilder Girls, raved about it. It's time I move on. But I will say, I had to reel in my expectations. A lot of other people who love... Oh my goodness, pardon me. Do you know when you have a sneeze that just absolutely shakes your foundation? Because that's what I just had. So I have a lot of other friends that read Wilder Girls and said, temper your expectations. This is still good, but it may not necessarily be as amazing as her debut novel. And knowing that, I can swallow that and continue on. So here we have The Only Good Indians, a novel by Stephen Graham Jones. This again is another horror novel that I'm going to sink my teeth into in the fall. My work really picks up more towards the holidays, so I do try to bunker down and get a lot of the anticipatory reads, books I've been eyeing for a while before holiday starts, because after work I'll just want to come home, make a cup of tea and read. I won't want to stay and look at books. I know me, and I know I won't. So I did want a good selection of horror, especially for September, October. So I'm really excited to give this a go. I've already heard great things, and it just came out. So, oh, I'm so excited. I just glanced on the back. One of 2020's buzziest horror novels. Don't know what that means, but I'm really excited. And then, of course, we have The Mexican Gothic by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. Speaks for itself. I believe this is about a woman who gets a letter from her sister who is working in a house saying that these people and this house are trying to kill me. And she has to go off to save her sister. And tell me that is not the most beautiful cover you've ever seen. So I was intrigued. I'm really excited. I've heard really good things about this. And you know what? I feel like all of the horror I've picked up recently, oh, the author's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. I feel like, did she? I didn't know she wrote The Gods of Jade and Shadow. I own that. I love that book. How did I not know that? I don't know. Anyways, I'm excited. Girl, Serpentthorne. This is a gorgeous cover. I'm not going to beat around the bush and say that it's not. And I've heard it's a really fun read, so I'm excited for that. I don't know how to say this, but I was looking online. I thought I was buying a different book. I don't know if I have the wherewithal to insert a picture in editing, but there is a book that looks exactly like this book, and I thought I was buying the other book. And then I got home. It's not. It's absolutely not. But I'll read it. It's really pretty, even without its dust jacket. Like, I love the kind of soft blue gray, but I just thought that was funny. If you have a chance, do you know what? I bet you I could pull it up. But of course, everything's just about this. It's just a bunch of people taking an Instagram picture with this book because it's gorgeous, but it's also not original. It is, I can't explain, it is so much like a different book that when I saw it, I was like, there's no mistaking. This is the book I was looking at online, but they just changed the color scheme. It is literally a snake with flowers and thorns twisted around on the cover. I sound crazy. I'm not crazy. It's out there. And if you know what I'm talking about, could you please put the book in the comments? Because it's real and I'm not crazy. And last we have The House on the Cerulean Sea by TJ Klune. I feel like a lot of buzz has been happening with this, and I heard it's just supposed to be a nice, like, fanciful read. I heard it's just supposed to be kind and comforting and sweet, and I just thought at the end of summer turning into fall that this will be such a nice read. I think it is fantasy, but it's a school setting. Yeah, it takes place in like a magical school setting, which I'm so for at this point. I'm really excited. So that is it for the haul. Honestly, I can't believe I did this in under 30 minutes. My voice hurts a little bit. I feel like I ran a brisk 5K, but I'm going to edit this and I'm going to get this up. And thank you so much for watching and sticking around with me. And I will see you next week.